Hi, I'm Tiffany. I used to think having a mom who worked as a nurse meant I'd always have someone who understood when I was hurt. That illusion shattered 3 weeks ago when I tore my ACL during soccer practice. Instead of sympathy, Mom's eyes narrowed with suspicion. "You're putting too much weight on that leg for it to be as bad as you claim," Mom said over breakfast, stirring her coffee while eyeing my crutches propped against the table. "The doctor literally showed you the MRI, Mom. There's a tear." I reached for the orange juice, wincing as my knee twinged. I've seen plenty of patients miraculously recover when they stop getting attention for their injuries. She sipped her coffee, eyebrow raised. "Like magic." Dad glanced between us, then checked his watch. "I've got that early meeting. You two please try to— To what, Dad? Pretend Mom didn't just accuse me of faking an injury that has me benched for the rest of the season?" My voice cracked. Soccer was my everything. My scholarship chances, my stress relief, my social life. "That's not what I meant, Tiff," Mom sighed. "I'm saying teenagers sometimes exaggerate." "Whatever." I grabbed my crutches. "Carly's mom is driving me to school." Dad squeezed my shoulder as he passed. "It'll get easier, kiddo. Mom's just concerned about you missing so much school." Outside, I leaned against the porch column waiting for Carly. My phone buzzed. Coach Martinez checking in. "How's the knee, Tiffany? Physical therapy lined up yet?" "Starting tomorrow. Mom's being weird about everything." "Weird how?" "She thinks I'm faking for attention. Like I'd throw away our championship chances for sympathy points." "That doesn't sound right. Your mom was a college athlete. She knows injuries happen." "Yeah, well, she also thinks I'm using this to get out of AP Bio." Carly's car pulled up, her mom honking twice. "Gotta go, Coach. Thanks for checking in." At school, Carly helped me to my locker. "Your mom's still on that fake injury kick?" "It's getting worse. This morning, she practically accused me of doing it on purpose." "That's messed up. My mom would be like bubble wrapping me." Miss Winters, our guidance counselor, approached us. "Tiffany, how are you managing with the crutches? Need any accommodations?" "I'm okay, just slower than usual." "Your mom called this morning," Miss Winters said quietly. "She mentioned concerns about potential attention-seeking behaviors." My stomach dropped. "She what?" "She suggested we not make special arrangements for you. I explained that's not how we handle documented medical needs." Carly's eyes widened. "That's literally the opposite of her job as a nurse." "What the— I'll be fine," I interrupted, face burning with humiliation. "Mom's just being— Mom." After school, I hobbled home to an empty house. The elevator ding from the garage announced Mom's arrival an hour later. "How was school?" she asked, setting her purse down. "Awesome, except for my guidance counselor telling me you called to say I don't need accommodations for my very real injury." Mom's face hardened. "I'm trying to prevent you from developing dependent behaviors? By making me struggle unnecessarily? Great parenting." "Don't take that tone. I've seen perfectly healthy teenagers milk injuries for months." "Well, I'm not perfectly healthy. I'm actually injured. We'll see about that." I scheduled another opinion with Dr. Rankin. That night, I heard Mom and Dad arguing downstairs. "She needs support, not suspicion," Dad hissed. "She needs to learn the world doesn't revolve around her. Trust me, I know what I'm doing." I didn't know then that I'd wake up the next morning to find my crutches gone, or that when I called down for help, Mom would say those words that changed everything. "You don't need them. Stop faking for attention." "Mom, this isn't funny. Where are my crutches?" I called from the top of the stairs, gripping the banister to stay upright. "If you want breakfast, you'll have to come down without them," Mom replied calmly. Dad appeared from their bedroom, still fixing his tie. "What's going on?" "Mom took my crutches?" Dad frowned. "Karen, what's this about?" "A lesson in self-reliance. The doctor said some weight-bearing is good and she's been avoiding it completely." "That's not until physical therapy starts." "Where are they?" My voice echoed through the house. "You'll get them back when you show me you're actually trying to recover instead of milking this," Mom called back. Dad looked torn. "Karen, this seems— Don't undermine me, Tom. I've worked with patients for 20 years. I fumbled for my phone and texted Carly. Emergency. Mom hid my crutches. Can't get downstairs. Dad came up, looking apologetic. I'll help you down, but try putting a little weight on it, okay? Maybe Mom has a point about building strength. Dad, the orthopedist specifically said non-weight bearing for 2 weeks. It's only been 10 days. He helped me hop down the stairs on my good leg, but wouldn't meet my eyes. In the kitchen, Mom acted like nothing was wrong, serving pancakes while I balanced on one leg. See? You're perfectly capable. This is insane, I said, tears threatening. I could re-injure it. Drama, Mom sing-songed. Sit and eat. My phone buzzed. Carly was outside. Dad helped me to the door. I'll find the crutches, he whispered. She's just worried about dependency. She's being cruel, I whispered back. Carly's mom, Mrs. Torres, saw me hobbling and was out of the car immediately. Tiffany, where are your crutches? Mom hid them. She thinks I'm faking. Mrs. Torres's face darkened. That's unacceptable. I'm coming in to speak with her. Please don't. She'll just make things worse when you leave. Then I'm taking you to the doctor right now. This is medical neglect. At the urgent care clinic, Dr. Patterson examined my knee, his expression grim. Who told you to bear weight on this injury? He asked. My mom. She's a nurse and thinks I'm exaggerating for attention. A nurse? He looked alarmed. This is clearly documented in your records. Weight bearing could extend your recovery by months. Mrs. Torres leaned forward. Doctor, her mother confiscated her crutches this morning. That's concerning. He typed notes into his computer. I'm prescribing new crutches and documenting this incident. I'd like to speak with your mother. She won't listen, I said quietly. Then we'll need to consider other options. Mrs. Torres, may I speak with you privately? While they talked in the hallway, I texted Dad. At urgent care with Carly's mom. Doctor says Mom could have caused permanent damage. My phone immediately rang. Dad, what's happening? Are you okay? The doctor's furious. He says Mom could have seriously hurt me. I found your crutches in the garage. I'll bring them to you. Dad, this is bigger than the crutches now. The doctor wants to report Mom. Report her? That's extreme. Let me talk to Karen first. She won't listen. She never does. Mrs. Torres returned with Dr. Patterson. Tiffany, he said gently, I've spoken with Mrs. Torres and we're concerned about sending you home without addressing this situation. Is there someone else you could stay with temporarily? My grandma, maybe, or Carly's family? Mrs. Torres nodded. You're welcome with us, honey. Dad arrived just as we were leaving, new crutches in hand. The doctor pulled him aside while Mrs. Torres helped me to her car. Your dad's going to meet us at your grandmother's, she explained. The doctor wants to file a report about your mother's actions. Through the window, I watched Dad's face crumple as Dr. Patterson spoke. For the first time, I realized this wasn't just about crutches anymore. Grandma's house smelled like cinnamon and safety. Dad sat across from me at her kitchen table, his face haggard. I'm so sorry, Tiff. I should have stopped her. Why is she doing this? She's a nurse. She knows better. Dad sighed. Your mother. Her father used to accuse her of faking illnesses. It's like she's replaying her own childhood trauma. That's not an excuse, Grandma snapped, setting tea in front of us. Karen needs help, but Tiffany needs protection first. My phone buzzed. Mom calling. I declined. She's been blowing up my phone, Dad said. The hospital administrator called her in after Dr. Patterson's report. Good, Grandma muttered. The doorbell rang. Carly and Miss Winters, my guidance counselor. Sorry to intrude, Miss Winters said. Carly explained what happened, and I'm here officially. We're mandated reporters. Someone already reported her, Dad said. I know. The school was contacted. I need to interview Tiffany. Carly sat beside me while Miss Winters asked questions about Mom's behavior. Has she ever hidden other medical equipment or medications? Not equipment, but she's always questioning if I really need pain medication. After my wisdom teeth, she gave me regular Tylenol instead of the prescribed pain meds. Miss Winters frowned. Has she interfered with other medical care? She made me go to school with a fever last year, said I was being dramatic. A knock interrupted us. A woman in a blazer introduced herself as Mrs. Jimenez from Child Protective Services. I understand there's been an incident involving medical neglect? The formal questioning began again. By evening, my mother arrived, pounding on the door. I demand to see my daughter. Grandma opened the door but blocked the entrance. Karen, you're not thinking clearly. I'm thinking perfectly clearly. Everyone's overreacting. Coddling her won't help her recover. Mrs. Alvarez, Mrs. Jimenez stepped forward. I'm with CPS. We need to discuss your actions regarding your daughter's medical care. CPS? This is absurd. I'm a healthcare professional. Which makes your behavior even more concerning, Mrs. Jimenez replied calmly. Mom spotted me on the couch. Tiffany, tell them this is all a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? My voice shook. You hid my crutches and forced me to walk on an injury that could have been permanently damaged. You called my school to block accommodations. You accused me of faking when we both saw the MRI. I was trying to help you. Sometimes patients need tough love. I'm not your patient. I'm your daughter. Same principle. She turned to the others. She's always been dramatic. Ask anyone. Dr. Patterson, who had arrived minutes earlier, stepped forward. I've reviewed Tiffany's complete medical history. There's a pattern of minimizing her health concerns that's deeply troubling. This is a conspiracy, Mom hissed. Tom, are you really going to let them do this? Dad straightened. Karen, you need help. This isn't normal behavior from a mother or a nurse. I can't believe this. Mom's voice cracked. I was trying to teach her resilience. Tiffany, baby, I'm sorry if I went too far. You know I love you. The apology hung in the air, hollow and too late. I needed my mother to believe me, I said quietly, to support me when I was hurt. Instead, you punished me for being injured. A temporary lapse in judgment. It wasn't temporary. It's how you've always been. I broke my wrist in 3rd grade and you made me finish my piano lesson before taking me to the ER. Mom's face crumpled. I'll do better. Please just come home. I looked away. No. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. 2 weeks had passed since that confrontation at Grandma's house. Now a judge would decide if I could stay with Grandma permanently while Mom got the help she needed. You doing okay? Carly whispered, squeezing my hand. Better with these. I adjusted my crutches, now decorated with soccer team stickers. My attorney, Miss Patel, reviewed her notes. Remember, just answer truthfully. The judge has the doctor's reports and school records. Mom entered with her lawyer, her normally perfect appearance slightly disheveled. She tried to catch my eye, but I focused on the American flag behind the judge's bench. Dad sat in the row behind me. Whatever happens, I'm here for you, Tiff. The hearing proceeded with clinical efficiency. Dr. Patterson testified about my injury and the potential consequences of forced weight-bearing. In my professional opinion, this was not a misunderstanding but a pattern of medical neglect. Mom's attorney questioned him. Isn't it true that some parents, especially those in healthcare, might have different approaches to recovery? Different approaches, yes. Contradicting clear medical directives? No. Miss Winters testified next about Mom's call to block accommodations, followed by Mrs. Jimenez presenting the CPS investigation findings. When my turn came, Miss Patel guided my testimony gently. Tiffany, has this been an isolated incident? No. Mom has always accused me of exaggerating injuries or illnesses. How has this affected you? I stopped telling her when I was sick or hurt. Last year, I had strep throat for 2 weeks before a teacher noticed and called home. Mom made a small sound. Her attorney tried damage control. Tiffany, do you believe your mother loves you? I believe she thinks she does. And isn't it possible she truly believed she was helping you develop resilience? If someone breaks your leg and calls it swimming lessons, they're not teaching you to swim. They're drowning you. Mom finally took the stand, voice quivering. I've been working with a therapist to understand my behavior. My father treated my childhood illnesses the same way. But that's an explanation, not an excuse. I failed my daughter, the judge asked. Do you understand the gravity of your actions now? Yes, Your Honor. I've taken leave from the hospital to focus on therapy. And what would you do differently? Everything. Mom looked directly at me. I'd believe her. Trust her doctors. Be her advocate instead of her adversary. After final statements, the judge ruled. I would stay with Grandma for 6 months while Mom continued intensive therapy. Dad would have visitation, and Mom would have supervised visits after completing her treatment program. Outside, Mom approached cautiously. Tiffany, I know you don't want to hear this, but I am truly sorry. You're right. I don't want to hear it. I'll earn back your trust, however long it takes. Maybe someday I'll believe that, I replied. But today isn't that day. As she walked away, Coach Martinez approached with the team. We've got your back, Alvarez, she said, presenting me with a signed team jersey. And when that knee heals, your spot's waiting. That evening, Carly and our teammates gathered at Grandma's for pizza and movies. How are you really doing? Carly asked when the others were engaged in a heated debate about toppings. Processing. The judge said I don't have to see Mom until I'm ready. Your dad? He's coming for dinner tomorrow. He's still figuring out his own stuff. And you? I adjusted my knee brace. Physical therapy's going well. Doctor says I might be back on the field by spring. That's not what I meant. I know. I watched our friends laughing in Grandma's kitchen, feeling something like peace. I'm learning it's okay to need help, to actually accept it when offered, and to cut off people who don't believe your pain, even when they're supposed to love you most. Carly nodded. That's the strongest thing I've ever heard you say. Turns out you don't need crutches to stand up for yourself. But when you do need them, make sure they're covered in team stickers? Exactly. Have you ever had someone dismiss your pain? How did you handle it? Comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories about standing up for yourself.